introduce Dr. Durga. She is the founder of Aeronero, a deep tech startup that uses patented technology to produce clean drinking water directly from air. Her work stands at the intersection of innovation, sustainability, and social impact, and she is addressing one of the most critical challenges of our time, which is the water scarcity. And to talk about her accolades, she has actually worked on water crisis, and also as a founder of Aeronero, she has revolutionized the water industry through innovative air water generation solutions. She has the startup has had many commercial successes with over 300 installations in India, providing clean drinking water to 1.5 million people. And she has also has many awards and also accolades under her title. She is honored with the Doctor of Technology and Innovation in 2025, and her operations are spanning across India and Americas. She has been selected as a finalist in the UN Empowerment SDG Challenge 2025, and she is a Women Entrepreneur of the Year award at the HT Bharat Nirman Conclave and Awards 2025. It is one of the prestigious thing to get accommodated in Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women program, and she is also a part of Vital Voices Global Women Leadership Program in Washington, D.C. She is an advisor on the WICCI platform under Water Industry Joint Secretary of the Asian African Chamber of Commerce. So I welcome you, Dr. Durga. It's a privilege to have her with us today, and she talking about her company and also as a water as a primary topic. I also extend a warm welcome to all the participants who are joining us online as well as here in this auditorium. We are delighted to have you with us as part of this knowledge sharing journey. With that, I would like to take this session forward, and let us all carry this knowledge, inspiration, and also the responsibility forward on this important theme. So can we have a round of applause and welcome Dr. Durga.
Do you all want to move up in front? I mean, you're way back somewhere. I mean, this is not school, right? You can come up here, all your backbenchers. Why don't you come up here in front? Any of you move up in front? You can all move up one step in front, right? No? They're stuck to their seats. Either I'm already frightening you or you don't want to really listen to the program, right? Is it up? Can we move these chairs? Let's see if I can get you at least motivated by entertaining you. It's not coming up.
From the skies, a dream is born, a vision bright, a brand new dawn, where water flows, yet none is near. Aeronero's hope is clear, turning air into life, bringing hope, ending strife, for every home, for every land, a future strong, a helping hand. Aeronero rising high, pulling water from the sky, one drop one change, one world to save. We stand for those who thirst today. Across the oceans, hills and sand, we bring the gift, the helping hand. No more waiting, no more pain, just pure water like the rain, turning air into life, bringing hope, ending strife, for every home, for every land, a future strong, a helping hand. Aeronero rising high, pulling water from the sky. One drop, one change, one world to save. We stand for those who thirst today. Not just a dream, it's real today. Innovator leads the way. From India to the world so wide, Aeronero, stand with pride. Aeronero rising high, pulling water from the sky. One drop, one change, one world to save. Together we will lead the way, for every life, for every dream. Water flows like a steady stream. Aeronero, hear our call, sustaining life, one drop for all.
Can you move it to the first slide? Go to the next slide. Oh, yeah. Is this the one? It's not working. Yeah, so that was a song that I wrote in March on World Water Day. I know all of you are the current Gen Z generation. You all use AI avidly. It doesn't mean that we white-haired people can't. So I come from a musical background in my childhood. So I wrote the song, and then of course I use AI to put it together to talk about what Aeronero does. I think the speech I'm going to give you, or the talk I'm going to give you, is not only about the technology, because I think it's quite apparent from the song what we do. We make water from air, and we are a deep tech innovation company. But I'm going to take you along this journey of where I come from, who I am, why I'm doing what I'm doing, what Aeronero does, and hopefully it will motivate some of you to take this journey, because like ma'am said, this is a problem that is very, very prevalent, and it's only escalating as we speak, not just here in India, not just in Chennai or Tamil Nadu, but around the world. So hopefully that is what the talk will end up doing, getting some of you to respond to the water challenge that they've arranged. And of course, I'll be there to support you along the way. So Aeronero, the name itself tells you what we do. Aero, air, Nero, water, make water from air. A deep tech innovation company started right here in Chennai. And I got to doing this because I come from Chennai. I have a very Bengali name, but I am a South Indian from Tirunelveli and born and brought up right here in Chennai. Does it move? Okay. Yeah, I think pointing here is better. As a background, I'm a sportsman. I played cricket at the national level in India, and then I captained the US cricket team for 7 years. I also played the amateur golf circuit for about 7 years, and I continue to stay professionally motivated in sport, and I sail nowadays. So there are regattas that I take part in. We sail right here in the Bay of Bengal. I started my entrepreneurial journey at the age of between 13 and 14 sometime. It was due to circumstance, not by any desire to be an entrepreneur. though that is the in thing nowadays. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but at that time, that was not my motivation. It was circumstance that led me there. But I think between sports and the things I learned on the field, which is about, teamwork, leadership, strategy, patience, honesty, I think those are the same qualities one requires: tenacity, perseverance. These are the same qualities one requires to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship isn't just about, I'm the owner of my company. It requires a lot more than that. It is a very difficult journey, and it's not for the faint-hearted. But I think if any of you play competitive sport, it will make your life a lot easier because it is very much aligned. Again, so I played, like I said, here in India when I was young. I started when I was 10 years old and went on to play till I was 20. And I left the country at that time and I went to the US. So I was in a technology company at that time. Went straight to California. Well, a little before that, about a year before that, I had taken 1 year off. I wandered the world as a hippie. I did odd jobs. I cleaned houses. I was a maid. I was a waitress. I was a forklift operator. I was a dentist assistant. I did any odd job just to get a meal a day and to put my head down to sleep. And I think it was the best year of my life because it really taught me that we need very little in life. And while we are here on planet Earth, I think it's very important for us to do something meaningful and to leave some kind of a legacy behind. And I say this because that's what finally prompted me to get to Aeronero. In the US, I got a second chance to play cricket again. And I played for California, then I captained the US team. We went down to play in Bangladesh. And basically, what it tells you is that, that it's never too late. I always say that you're never too old to be young, right? I think it's all about your mindset and what you choose to do. And similarly, it's never too young to be old. For you people, it's not about saying, I'm only 18, I'm only 17, I'm only 20. You can be wise, you can have wisdom, you can do bigger and better things even in college. I started my journey when I was in school in my 10th standard, I think it was, 9th or 10th standard. So I think you can start this journey anytime in your life. And it's only the things that we fear that we sometimes don't take those steps, right? But when you take that step, when you jump in and start swimming, you'll realize it's not so hard. And it actually becomes a very pleasant journey along the way. As you can see, I ride a Harley as well. And why I put these pictures up is to kind of showcase some of the things that I think all of you will experience as young people, right? To understand the nuances of life, to understand what are the things that inhibit you. Why don't you do the things that you can do? The potential of doing is all in front of you. But sometimes fear stops you, holds you back. Sometimes the worry that this is beyond my scope pulls you back. But I don't think anything is beyond your scope. When I came back and I was riding this bike, I was already 50 years old, right? Or maybe 48 years old. And I said I wouldn't ride. It's a very heavy bike. It's 500 kilos, right? But the owner said, no, Durga, you have to ride and come with us. And I took a ride from Chennai to Goa on the bike. And it was not easy. I mean, the first, I think, 600 kilometers to Chitradurga was very simple. And I was excited because I hadn't ridden a bike in like 30 years, I think, at that time. And to ride this kind of a bike, which is heavy and long distances, with riding 15, 16 hours, wasn't easy. And I was very excited. But a very funny thing happened after that. When we reached Chitradurga and finished that night, the next day we had to leave to go to Goa. And that's when the tough part begins. And you go through the hairpin bends, you're going through the guard section. And it's a very heavy bike. When you ride a cycle, if you have to turn right, you just pull right. When you turn left, you just pull left. But not so with a heavy bike. And I learned that the hard way. So as I was going up this hairpin bend, and I was the only woman, I think we were 38 men in that entourage of people who rode the bike from Chennai to Goa. It was the first year of Harley Davidson in India. And we started taking the hairpin bend, and these guys started zipping, right? And here I'm on this heavy bike, and I have to take the right hairpin bend, and I'm pulling the handlebar. And it is not going anywhere. It is going where it wants to go. While I'm pulling it, and everyone says, she is going to die now, right? She's going to go off this cliff, and she's going to die. And I don't know what it was that happened, but something inside me clicked, and my left leg just went boom, boom, boom. And from sixth gear, I came to the first gear. The bike just held back and it just stopped. I got off the bike, and one half of me was normal, the other half was like shivering. And I told them, I'm done. I don't want to ride this bike anymore. If somebody else can ride it, I don't really want to prove a point and kill myself in the process. And the funny thing was, the guys who were supposed to take the bike, the maintenance crew, and who promised me that they would, if I said I would give it to them, came and said, I'm sorry, ma'am, you have to ride the rest of the way. So sometimes that's your journey too. You don't have a choice. You have to finish what you started. And I said, why? You promised to take it. They said, we had 2 accidents. One guy's gone through a pipe, another guy is stalled somewhere else. So the maintenance is with those 2 bikers. So you have to go. So I told the entire bike group of riders, you guys can go ahead. I'm going to come slowly. And slowly means really slowly. I was going at 2 kilometers an hour, literally like duk, duk, duk. You know how that can be, right? Frustrating. But the lead and the sweep stayed with me, and the rest of them just zoomed off. And for the next hour, I actually did only 2 kilometers. And then the lead, a friend of mine, came and said, you know, Didi, I was observing something. I said, really, what did you observe? He said, when you ride a heavy bike like this and you're taking turns, right, you're not supposed to look ahead of you. You're supposed to look to where you want to go. So if the hairpin bend is going right, you look there, even though you're going to take it like this. And if you're going to go left, you look there, not here. And he said, the second thing you do is don't pull on the handle, which is common sense, to pull right to go right. He said, no, you gently push away. I said, really? How does that work? He said, try it. So the next hairpin bend, very dramatically, of course, I'm gently pushing and looking to the right, and the whole bike leans with me and turns. I, of course, reached Goa safely. Not to say that I now went faster, not at 2 kilometers an hour. But what did I learn from this, and why am I sharing this with you? Sometimes you get on a journey that you cannot get off. You have to finish it. And that's the time you have to persevere. And perseverance is one of the best qualities you can get. The second is to look at where you intend to be, not what's right in front of you. Sometimes you cannot see if you're only focused on just what's in front of you. You have to look where you think again, guys, no motor. We're relying on wind, sustainability, right? And if there is no wind, you wait. You can't paddle with your hands. You can't go anywhere, right? And you learn humility because you're working with nature. You learn patience. You learn teamwork. There's a lot of science in this because when you want to speed, you look at how to balance the weight. You learn wind conditions. You learn about currents in the water, right? And that's how you have to improve and become better to go faster. So sailing is my new passion. It continues to keep me very humble and grounded because I think like every other sport that taught me something, whether it was leadership or teamwork, sailing is now teaching me humility, teaching me that the ocean is far bigger. And guess what? It is close to my heart. I am working with water. There is no doubt I should be on water too. And so that's where I'm going to stop talking about me and my journey. I'm going to jump into where we are now and what we do with Aeronero. So Aeronero is, the reason I got into Aeronero is very simple. And as I was telling my friend here from Gujarat, I was doing well in California. I lived in Silicon Valley for about 25 or more years. I built and sold a few technology companies. And I was also playing cricket. And I think I kind of become comfortable in life. And I don't know, something inside me was saying, but you're going to die, and then what? Nobody will remember you. There's something called a burning desire that each of us faces sometime in our life, and that will motivate you to something. To some people, it is spirituality. To some others, it is money. For me, it was about leaving a legacy, something that I felt that if somebody on the road said, oh, you know, today a good person died, she did something meaningful, I think I would have done something purposeful in my life. I'd already done what I had to do for survival, for security. I'd taken care of my family, but now it was time to give back. It so happened that I was in South Africa in 2018 when Cape Town ran out of water. And then Chennai, my city, had a day zero in 2019. I don't know how many of you remember that, but we had a day zero which was talked about all over the world. And that's how Aeronero came to being, because the problem was staring me in the face. And I said, this is the problem I want to solve. This is the problem that I can create impact with. And of course, having said that, I wanted to make sure that everything I did, as always in my life, I think out of the box. I like to do something different. I don't like to just slap on another layer and say I've innovated anything. It has to be meaningful. It has to create change. It has to be impactful. And I've always done that, including my days of playing cricket. Today they teach them how to hit six over the wicketkeeper's head. I used to do it 40 years ago when they told me to defend. But I was always like that. I was always a maverick, always decided to think out of the box, do things differently. And I think in some cases it worked for me, and maybe some cases it didn't work for me. But I still encourage people to continue to think that way. So we wanted to innovate. And what do we do? Condensation is, you all know what condensation is, rain, right? Nature does it. Our refrigerators do it. Our air conditioners do it. So what's so cool about that? Nothing. And all of them drip some water. If you go stand outside, you can catch some water in it. So big deal. And if you drip a little more than less, then you will be making water. And you can say it's made from air, which is true. But can you make this technology adaptable, adoptable, scalable? Could you make it in a size that is, potentially to be used in your home, right? Or are they going to be large, humongous systems only? Are they at a price point that people can afford, right? If it's going to cost you 40 rupees a liter, you would rather buy that Bisleri bottle for 20 rupees, no? Notwithstanding the fact that it's plastic and not good for you, but it's still cheaper. So can you make it at 4 rupees a liter? Can you make it at 2 rupees a liter? These were the questions that haunted us at Aeronero, and we wanted to solve these problems at a deep tech level. So we work with scientists, we work with academia. Yeah. So we work with scientists, we work with researchers, we work with academia. So I work with IIT Madras, I work with UPenn in Philadelphia. We're now talking to BITS Pilani. We work with Anna University. And the idea is to bring people who are motivated in the space of science and technology, people who are interested in solving this problem, to come together and say, can we do this together? This is not a problem solved by one person or one company. It has to be a collective effort. It has to be collaborative. It has to be with partnerships. It has to be by interacting with other people, understanding that there is knowledge that can come from any source, and trying to bring it all together. Not everyone can build a company, but everyone has a brain and can use it. And if you can bring all of that intelligence together, why can't we build a good, formidable company that can really solve problems at the grassroots level? So, as I said, Chennai was the problem I started with, but it is a global problem. PFAS is something you might have all heard of in the pipes, but it'll take $1 trillion to solve it in the US. And microplastics in every plastic bottle that we are carrying around. I can see that your institution uses glass bottles. Congratulations, kudos to you, ma'am, on that. Well done. And I think that's the way everyone should go. Stop plastic bottles, use glass, take the water you need, don't waste, reuse grey water. I think collectively, as humanity understands that we can all solve this problem together, it's not the lack of water. It is the application of water that we're doing wrong. And it has to be a combination of things. Now, atmosphere has 7 times more water than the ground. How many of you know that? And here's another fun fact. Do you know the sun is older than the earth? You agree with me? Yes? Do you know water on earth is older than the sun? How did that happen? Think about it. Next time you meet me, you can give me the answer. I know the answer, but you figure it out. So the water on planet Earth is older than the sun, which is older than Earth. And we have 70% of water on planet Earth. Our bodies are 70% water. Our brain is 70% water. What is the 70 connection? That was a question that went on in my head for a long time. I don't have a perfect answer, but I have some theories. But here's another question for you to go figure out. What is the 70 connection? Right? What are all these 70s? So water in atmosphere is abundant, and a combination of using that water for drinking, which is clean, and using groundwater for purposes that can be used for non-drinking, non-cooking, potable requirements, which means treatment efforts are less, which means we waste less on treating and water. And then having this distributed system is what I believe will solve the problem, at least in India, if not in other parts of the world. This is, yeah, you can go to the next slide. Yes. So Aeronero, there are three forms of extraction of moisture from air, right? There's condensation, which I spoke to you about, mimicking nature, rainwater. Then there is desiccation. It's that little white pouch you get when you buy a telephone or a computer, right? And it basically has silica in it. And for those of you who have studied properly in your class, you know what that does, right? A handful of silica has a surface area of a football field. That's how much adsorption power it has. So that's what keeps your electronics dry. That's why they put it in with your laptop or your phone in the packing box, right? So it keeps your electronics dry. You can use adsorption in the night naturally because humidity at night is more. And in the morning, using sunlight, you can desorb. This is the second method of doing water extraction from air, right? But the difficulty in this is that desiccation, while it's beneficial in low humidity, produces small amounts of water, right? So condensation can produce large amounts but consumes energy. Desiccation in low humidity but smaller amounts. There's a third method called the Peltier method. It's basically an element in the hot and cold side. We're experimenting on that. We're the only company in the world that uses both these methods, experimenting on the third, and we have patents in both these methods. So our desiccation method is patented with IIT Madras as our co-collaborator, and the condensation method we have a patent awarded. And you can go to the next slide. It's our current product range. We have 20 liters, 40 liters, 150 liters, and a stackable modular system for 500 liters and above. So you can go from your home all the way to communities. We put it on ships and barges as well, right? And we call them MOGs, marine AWDs, because they have to withstand the roll of the ocean, right? So they'll all slide, so we have to do that. So we make specialized equipment for ships as well. And all of these are IoT installed. So we have sensors in them, and we have app both on Android and on iOS. So you can actually monitor your system. You can see air quality, water quality, temperature, humidity, water generated, right? Water consumed from your phones. So this helps us in monitoring our systems. There's another area of interest because one is the technology of science, another is design. A third is IoT, data analytics, predictive modeling, and the like. So depending on which area you all come from and what your interests are, solving water does not mean you all have to become water scientists. You can approach it from different angles, right? And so that's what we do with this current product range. We have some new products that are coming out, which is miniaturization products for soldiers to make it on the move, right? And we've also started bottling our water called Aquare, and this is high quality mineralized water from air, bottled for hospitality, and there's a new line that we've just released. The innovation in this is that we're talking about applying sound energy to water. Some of you may know that water has memory, right? And if you don't know, it's an interesting fact. Water has memory. And when you go to a temple, right, they give you tirtham, no? And that's what you drink and put over your head. Why? That's the same water as this water. Why you don't pour this over your head? Because that is listen to sound, the scriptures, the prayer that the priest does in the temple, the bell, the ring, and that helps the potency of water increase, and that's why you take that and take it in as holy water, right? Versus this is just regular water. Next slide. So these are some of the things. We have a data center where we collect data, and we are now, like I said, doing predictive modeling. And you can go to the next slide. And we monitor this for different reasons. We want to see the quality, the nexus between air quality and water quality. Does that impact? And if so, how can we mitigate it? We're looking at, what is the temperature and humidity, and how much water is being produced, and how can we work on efficiencies. You can go to the next slide. So there's a lot of work on AI and predictive modeling. And like I said, we work with several colleges and universities across the world. Happy to work with AVIT as well. And with GIEC, I'm familiar with GIEC. I've been here. I'm familiar with AVIT. Anuradha Ganeshan is a good friend of mine. And if the water challenge is up and any of you do take and participate, I'd be more than happy to help. Our offices are right here down the road in Kotivakam. So we do take in turns to help support you on this journey if it interests you. And so we're happy to collaborate on that. We have a summit coming up in February called GOGI, which is the Global Air Water Generation Summit, where we're bringing everyone in this space. And this is now the future of water. Water in the air is the future of water. Mind me, next few years you will see this more and more, and you will wonder why you did not listen to the speech hard enough and why you did not take action immediately thereafter, because it is the future. And if you get into this space, there's opportunity for for good businesses to be made. And we have about 70 odd companies around the world who are now in this space. Not everyone is where we are. We innovate, we manufacture, and we market. Many of these companies do one or the other, but not all. And we've won a bunch of awards in the last couple of years. We are well known in many parts of the world. And we are the first company that says we are made in India for the world. It's completely indigenous, made right here in Chennai with all parts from India. We don't have any Chinese parts. Many of my competitors make products from China, or they have parts that come from there. We made it specifically to say that India can be world class in manufacturing. We can make world class products, right? Not just from efficiency, which we are very good at, but also from design, which we are not known to be good at. We make ugly looking boxes and say it works, right? But we can make good looking product. So some of the cars we have today are well designed, right? See Mahindra's cars, fabulous. But the same thing, remember the ambassadors in the past? And for how long we had ambassadors? We never changed the model ever. So I think India will be known not just for, computing intelligence. It will also be known for artistic intelligence. And I think design is something we can do, and we're proving it with Aeronero. And that's the end of my talk. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I think she would like to open the water challenge as well. Thank you. It's okay, I'll take. They're not here for the water challenge, all running.
Hello, we haven't finished it.
They're not interested in education. I don't know if they come because some parents send them, no? all the way to speak to you. B, please learn respect first. Second,
have understood and felt the gravity of the problem that we are facing in the future world, and there is also a readily available solution with ma'am here, and she wanted to help us with giving opportunities in working in her Aeronero. So what best thing that can happen here, and she has come all the way from her busy schedule, and then she has taken this time. I would like to thank her really for this and for having given a wonderful session on this water for all, and hope we will keep that water with us in the future generations also. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving a wonderful session and coming here and taking my request. Yeah. So can I have the memento, please? We will have a memento given, ma'am. One. Yeah. So those who are interested in applying for the challenge, we have opened this, we are going to issue this to all the school students, college students also. So you can fill whichever is the problem statements is favoring you or you are interested to work on. There is opportunity for science students, engineering students, as well as community related development. So we have given the problems. The problems are given by her only. So if you can develop some solution, then we will be able to take it to the next step by working with her and also collaborating with her. As you can see, the last slide, she is already working with Anna University, IIT Madras and other places. So it will be a good opportunity for us to be in touch with her and also learn how she is working on it. So think about your future and also for the water. Okay? Yeah. And with that, we are coming to a close here. And I would like to sincerely thank Dr. Durgadas for coming here all the way from her busy schedule and for giving the guidance to the student as well as those participating in the YouTube. So we would really like to take this forward and then keep this momentum going on in the future in a right spirit. Okay. So thank you for all for attending, and with that we are coming to a close. Now you can leave. Yeah.